Going live.
We're going live. Are we live yet?
I don't know. You said push the button.
Push the button.
I did. I did.
Button's pushed.
All right. Hey, I see a live sign. I see 5 people already.
Really?
No, there we
They're
go.
happy to see us.
They can see us now.
Mm-hmm.
How are we all doing?
How you
I don't
doing?
know.
I'm doing good.
Bada bing, bada
We're
boom.
here.
Mustache, where you doing? You all right? Oh, you're in the infamous chair.
Yeah, you might fall
yes,
asleep.
I was forced to sit in this, by the way.
Uh-huh. As soon as he sat down, he started getting sleepy.
I did. You watch. Scott's gonna be right in my side view, just like holding a clock back and forth. You getting sleepy?
All right, y'all ready?
I was born ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast, episode 136. I'm Joey with Stillblade Woodworks, joined by our host, Matt with Wacky Works, the Mustachio with the wooden mustache, and Mr. Steve I from Steve I Designs. How's it going?
Howdy.
Going well. How's everyone?
Doing good. Before we get started, I think Mr. Mustache got some people to thank. How about you do that?
I do have a few people to thank. In randomly selected order, I'd like to call out a few folks out there helping us support the podcast. And I will start with Mike from Lido's Woodshop, another Mike from Broken Lead Woodworks, and last but not least, our awesome guy, Steve Mosley from Making at Home, who I saw a few days ago, by the way. But we'll get more into that after, and I'll hand it back over to Joey.
What do I got in the works? That little segment that we do? What we have in the works.
In the works.
What are you doing?
I've been doing a lot today. Actually, finally laid some of the black course mats down. Got the CNC moved back into position where it's going to stay. I don't know, since I last updated, all the wiring's done. Well, as far as the wall, so all the electricity's done. And I actually took the Precision Matthews metal lay out of the crate and we started setting it up.
Nice.
And
Wow.
Yeah, that thing's heavy. That's that took the majority of the day just to try to get it moved around. And we're still fighting it up until this started. It's the way you have to align the pedestal with the actual lathe and then the pan that goes underneath it. It's they don't leave you a lot of room to work. There was a lot of choice words going on in there, I'll tell you that.
I can imagine.
So that's been fun. It's still kind of hanging on the crane because we didn't get to completely lower it down because we're still trying to fight the bolts to get in there to actually secure it down. So it's got a little bit more work to do on that. So slowly but surely, once we get that set up and get the leveling feet on it, then I can put that aside for right now and start working on getting the shop back in order and laying the rest of the mats. The boys did not like me today, having to get those mats out.
Those things will work you to death.
Things are freaking heavy.
What did we figure out? They're like 95 pounds a piece.
96 pounds. Yeah.
So it wasn't a fun day. I think I think we only unloaded 8 of them.
They're 96 pounds and they're dead weight. I mean, they're dead weight.
They're awkward because there's
Yeah.
just no good way to handle them because they're just flimsy. But I tell you what, once you put them down,
They're there.
They're not moving.
not going anywhere.
No.
But yeah, so once I get that lathe put in its place and where it's going to be, then I can just set that aside. I'm not going to mess with it for a little bit. I just wanted to get it out of the crate. The crate was just in the way, and I need to make room so I can start moving stuff around and laying those mats down, and then start setting up all the other machines back up. So that's what I was doing today. How about you, Mr. Wackerle? What you got in the works?
I was doing a lot of sanding, polishing, sanding, grinding. And yeah, I mean, you get to the point where you're polishing or grinding concrete, and then you just realize, is it really doing anything at this point? Is because I didn't notice a difference between 3,000 and 10,000. I really didn't. I mean, I noticed a difference when I got to 3,000. It was like, oh, this is really smooth. And then I get to the next one, it's like, did I do it? So, but I did that for 75% of the day. That burn box as well as doing it as well, taking a break from my arms grinding, vibrating. But yeah, I got that down, and so I gotta wait for it to dry a little bit, and then I'll put a seal coat on it. And after I sand the logo, got to sand the logo, the epoxy portion of it, the wood and the epoxy portion, and then I'll put a seal coat on it, and then it's got a couple cracks here and there. When I put it outside, I didn't get to it right away, and the temperatures. And I didn't put air in concrete. I don't know if you know that's what air in concrete does, is it allows it to expand and contract. And the temperatures got a little low, like single digits. And I don't know if that's where it got one little crack going across the top. It's not on the bottom anywhere. And it may be just a shrinkage crack. Could be anything, but it's got a little small crack in it. It's not bad. But it's something I can, after a while, I've already sanded it. It's all nice and smooth, and I'll fill it with probably some epoxy or something just to have it filled up and peace of mind, and get it back in the shop. So, and once it's done, I'll be able to start doing some organization, getting everything put back up and be able to walk around my shop without bumping into stuff. So, that'll work out pretty good. So, yeah. What about you there, Steve? No, it's Mustache. I'm just going to Mustache.
It's me. It's me.
You look like your shop has expanded and gotten bigger. I mean, you're changing. Look at you.
It's all AI. It's all AI.
There you go.
Good old green screen for the win.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I've had a busy weekend. I drove out to Iowa Thursday morning. Let's see, I got in Iowa at maybe early afternoon. I was heading to Scott's from Willow Creek Lumber, and I actually stopped and saw Steve Mosley. He was kind of on the way, and I got to see his shop. And he is. I thought I had a small shop, and Steve beats me. He's got far more packed into his than I do. Well, I mean, I'd say we're probably neck and neck. I just have more. The depth of my shop is a little larger for me. So I left Steve's. I got to Scott's. We did some dinner, and then yesterday we went out to the sawmill and he had a 24-foot black walnut log. I want to say probably 4 foot in diameter, roughly. And he has a Lucas mill, which is basically, it's almost a chainsaw mill, but there's no like, it's not an actual chainsaw. It's just got the
A motor.
housing and everything. Yep, and
Mhm.
and it's got the bar across. So, we slabbed. We had some issues with chains. We got like 3 cuts with one chain, and then we were looking through other ones, and that was a bit of an issue. And it was cold, cold, cold. I think when we got there, it was like 25 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So it was chilly in the morning. The sun did poke out right on the last cut for like 10 minutes, and Scott and I looked at each other. We're like, "Ah, that's nice."
And then it said, no.
Yeah, went right back behind the clouds.
Psych.
But we got six 3-inch thick slabs cut. That 24. That was absolutely insane. That I told Scott that was on my bucket list to go and do. And today we went over to another friend of his. He runs he builds houses and stuff, and he's got all big 3-phase equipment in his shop. I mean, he had a big 5-headed molder, and he's going through it with me and stuff. He had a massive sliding table saw, and the fence, oh my god, I could take a whole show up talking about this guy's shop. But the fence on that sliding table saw was all computer electronic, like controlled and stuff. And he did this little trick where he took a nickel and he set it up next to the fence, and he slides the fence out like 15 inches, and then plugs it back in and slides the fence back up, and it doesn't knock the nickel over. It literally just butts right up against the nickel. It's just sitting there on its side. I'm like,
Wow.
ooh.
Some good
But
accuracy.
yeah. And you got a big CNC in there and everything. Not as big as the one behind me, that Scott's Avid, but it's 3-phase, and that thing will do some work. So we got Scott's Onefinity, now my Onefinity loaded up. We did some maintenance on the planer, on the Grizzly 15-inch planer. Did a quick test. Got the truck loaded, and I think I'll be heading back east Monday morning. I'm still trying to figure out what time. I was kind of thinking about leaving tonight, but I'm like, no. We're not gonna sleep in the truck 2 nights. One night was bad enough. So that's
Get everything in there to close so you can close your tonneau cover. You ain't got to worry
it
about it.
did. It's all it's all closed. There's tons of offcuts and whatnot. I sent the wife a video of the bed of the pickup, and then I was talking with her on the phone, and she's like, "Wait, that was your truck?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Where's all that lumber going?" I'm like, "I don't know."
But it's cool.
We're adding on,
Well,
sweetheart.
But I mean, like out where Steve and I live, I don't think you can get a lot of ash.
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
Take that back.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
Downtown.
Ignore me.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you can get a ton of it now because over the last 4 or 5 years, we've had the ash beetle that's been destroying all the ash.
Yes,
So-
that's right. Yep. Well, that's it for me. Matt's got to step away for a second while he gets that out of the system. Steve, what do you got?
You get Can't ever
I'm passing it to you, Steve.
All right.
get us out of the gutter,
Well,
Steve. This guy
Well,
can't
I'll
ever
try and
do
get
it.
us back on track here, as usual. What do I have going on in the shop? So still working on my drill press cabinet. I didn't get as much done on that as I had hoped. I kind of switched gears this week to unpacking the air weights that I got over the end of the summer. They've marinated long enough. I took the CNC, flattened spoil board, got them out, set them all up, mounted them, tested them out, did a quick little reel for the gram last night. And yeah, so looking forward to really putting those through their paces and trying to figure out how best to make some fixture plates for some of the stuff I want to do coming up for, guitars and fretboards and necks, and along with other things. So did that, did a little cleanup in and around the CNC because I'm anticipating hopefully this week I'm going to get some shipping information for the heavy duty leg kit for the QCW table for my Onefinity CNC. So hopefully that'll show up in the inbox, and either this week or next week I'll hopefully have those, because I think they're supposed to start shipping the first week of March. So
Did you? There was an email that came through. I never even looked at it today. Did you see that?
I didn't see an email, not from them today. I know that they sent out an update. I believe it was Thursday, maybe it was Friday. I think the last few weeks they've sent out an update on the Thursday or Friday as to where they are with everything. So I know that some stuff is starting to ship, and I'm seeing a lot more folks on online starting to post photos and videos of them unpacking and setting up their new Onefinity equipment. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you should start. Hopefully you'll get your shipping info for your apprentice, right? Hopefully this week, because I think those are supposed to start shipping as well.
I had to be
So-
in the first batch. I'm pretty sure I was. I mean, I ordered it the day it went live, right then. I mean, soon.
Yeah, same with me. I think I'm in the tail end of the first batch.
So I went ahead and, well, go ahead. I don't want to stop you.
No, it's fine. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing in the shop this week. But
Yeah,
So-
I made enough room for that thing now. So I went ahead and shifted that metal layover more than what I was going to do. Just to make sure I have plenty of room.
Yeah.
Around there. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. Tired. Don't have a whole lot of energy today.
yeah, I can imagine. So a lot of stuff would be moving around the shop. But
Yeah.
Well, the mats
take-
by themselves. I mean, I know when me and my wife put the mats in mine, and
how many mats were in your shop, Matt?
I've only done half. Well, actually, a quarter of my shop, and that's 20. I think we did 20, and we did all 20 in one day. And I had to cut some of them because, well, I had equipment there that I couldn't move. We tried to pick it up. We tried to do different things, and so I was like, I'm just going to cut around it. But yeah, there was some discussions back and forth about how much we really appreciated doing that. So
Yeah.
I had to show those boys up because they were complaining, and I'm like, and I grabbed one, and I ended up, I think, kind of pulling the muscle in my neck because I was trying to got a little frustrated with them, and I was like, just pick it up. You know, in a parenting way. I told them how they needed to pick it up and stop acting a certain way.
Yeah.
And in that time, I think I kind of stretched out a muscle that I.
So you only did that once. You only did that once.
Yeah, but I showed them, and then they learned. They learned they didn't want to hear me yell again. So
yeah,
I
They
think
started-
Don from What's Next Woodworking said that was an email from Redline for a firmware upgrade that you probably
With the
saw.
color software. Yeah.
And actually, I did see that earlier today. But take a quick second here to thank our sponsor, Tyler, over at Forge 3D for supporting the podcast and helping us out. So thank you very much, Tyler. And if you would like to help support Creative Makers Podcast, you can head over to our Patreon and give us some support over there. And you can head over to supportcmp.com. Let's transition into our main topic tonight. And tonight's main topic is basically, are premium tools worth the hype? Or is buy once, cry once, just expensive advice? So tonight on the podcast, hopefully we're going to break down exactly which tools deserve that upgrade and possibly when in your woodworking career or maker career, and which ones are just a flex for the gram. So if you're building your shop, dialing in your workflow, or trying not to waste your money, this might be the episode for you. So let's kick it off.
Well, anybody want to kick it off first?
I'm going to kick it off with what I think is probably the first buy once, cry once. So if you're at the point where you're going to purchase a jointer, it is my opinion that benchtop jointers and 6-inch floor model jointers are not worth your time or your money. I think that is a spot where you certainly want to just suck it up, buy once, cry once, and at a minimum, of course, this all depends on the situation you're in, and if you can afford it, I would, or you're, saving for one, I would just save a little bit longer, and instead of buying a 6-inch floor joiner, I would say at a minimum, just start with an 8-inch floor jointer, and that's my opinion. I think you will quickly outgrow that 6-inch jointer if you start there and then upgrade, because they're not that much difference in price from a 6 to an 8. Where you start getting into some of that price is whether it's straight blades or a helical head. So that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
I would agree with the joiner. I went with the helical head right away, 8-inch helical head. I had used other 6-inch and benchtop joiners and didn't think there was much there for. I mean, I thought I could do what I needed to do there with a table saw jig. When you get into longer stuff, that's what you're really. Everything else I think I can do off table saw, but when you get into longer stuff, that's where you want to have a longer bed. You want to have a wider joiner, and that's everything else I can do on the table saw with a table saw jig and make those same cuts, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. If your budget allows you, start off with an 8-inch. Do you have to go helical head? Mostly all of them come that way, but if you want to save, straight knives are not bad. They're a little louder, but it'll save you on the pocketbook, and then you can make that upgrade later on. But again, is that much of a difference? Is there that much of a difference between straight head and helical now? Some machines, there's a big price jump. I used straight knives for a long time. They work fine. If you're just a hobbyist, honestly, you're depending on how much you're doing, those knives are going to last you quite a bit. Now, if you're full blown shop and you're turning out a lot of commission work, then maybe you need to think differently on that, because then you will be sharpening those and going through them. But that's just my opinion. I mean, of course, everybody wants to go helical, but there's a significant price jump in some of those.
There is. And I will say with the helical head versus straight knives, there is a big difference in how much noise you get
Yeah.
off of that
Mhm.
that machine. It
Yeah.
significantly drops the decibel level, at least in my experience.
And I mean, you know, it cuts down on some of the finishing because it leaves a better surface. I mean, let's not, you know, I mean, and again, I think it goes back to that buy once, cry once. Just go ahead and do it, because if you make the conversion now, most of that's about $500 bill
Mhm.
Easy.
to get the conversion kit for it to do it. And now you got to tear it all apart and do it. And
There's the tear it all apart and make sure you
and-
put it back together. Make sure you get the bearings in correctly. Make sure you get
all the tolerances are just right.
Yeah,
'Cause they may not run right. You know, not saying that you get one from the factory, you may not have issues, but you know, you're putting your hands into it, and if you've never done one and you don't have the proper things to do it, now you're having to go buy other things or try to find the stuff to pull those bearings, to pull all that stuff off. But
Mhm.
so sometimes it's just not worth it. Might as well just, you know, put it all out at one time and just do it.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. That's what I did. So when I found my jointer, I found it off Marketplace or Craigslist or somewhere. I bought it used is basically what I'm trying to get at. And it had the straight knives. And I used it for a little bit and I quickly decided I wanted to upgrade. So I went on Grizzly's website and I bought their helical head specifically for that machine to upgrade it. And the nice thing about that was is that it actually came the full assembly with the bearings already in place. So
Mhm.
literally, I just had to basically take the old cutter head out and drop the new one in. And I just verified that all the tolerances were correct. And I did have to shim it just a little bit on one side, like a thousandth or something. But in the grand scheme of things, it was kind of an expensive upgrade. You know, it was probably almost half of what I spent for the joiner, anyways. So if you're going to look at used equipment, just keep that in mind. If you know, again, there's nothing wrong with straight knives. They've worked for you know many decades, and a lot of people still use straight knives. You know, but that's
But
something
you
to
know,
just consider.
to point out something on straight knives is that if you nick it, it's done.
Yep.
Versus
That's
a
correct.
helical head, you can
Just
just
change
turn
out
the
just
blade.
that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Change that insert, and you're back on your way. Quick fix.
Yes, and it is certainly a lot more difficult with straight knives on a jointer to make sure that they're all aligned properly. You know, they sell those jigs with the magnets so that you can drop that blade in correctly and set it at you know
Yeah.
parallel to
All your
where
depths and everything. Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
And you're right, 100% with the helical heads. It's very easy. You've got 4 different cutting edges, and you just flip it, and But if you have to replace those, that gets expensive as well. So
Yep.
And-
And I wanted to while we're on like helical heads and everything, take my DeWalt for example. You know, I bought that 2014, 15 or something maybe.
Yep.
I think those helical heads were around, but they weren't putting those on machines like from the factory yet. You know, that was an add-on, and I spent 400 and some change on that planer, and to add that upgrade, it was the same price as what I spent on the planer, and I was like,
Yep.
why not just buy a new planer that has that cutter head that I want in it? You
Yeah,
know?
because that upgrade for the DeWalt is, I mean, you're taking out a lot of stuff to get it in
Yes,
there.
and that's the other thing
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got to
Yeah.
take all this stuff
it's not
out.
an
and
easy job.
No,
Yep.
no, it's not.
Yep. So I
Yep.
mean that, and I mean now I got Scott's Grizzly, so I don't even need to think about it. You just
Right.
send it on its merry way down the line
Yep.
to someone new.
There you go.
And, yeah.
Which I'm going to add that planers are very similar to the jointers. in my opinion. And
Mhm.
that's another spot where that if you have the ability to, and everybody's situation is different. Not everybody has the funds or space for larger tools like this, but if you're thinking about getting a planer, whether a benchtop or a freestanding floor model, those DeWalt's that everybody's got, what is it, the 760 something or 785 or whatever,
735, I believe.
735.
735.
Mhm.
Great machine, super popular.
Mhm.
But when you look at what the cost of those are now, new, if you're going to buy brand new, you're not going to buy it used. For a small amount, you can start getting into a floor standing from Grizzly, from Oliver, and a lot of those all now come with the helical heads. So, I mean, I don't know what the exact price is, but they're approaching $1,000, I think, for those DeWalt's, right? And
Yeah.
Oliver now
with
has
them.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oliver now has them, and Grizzly you can find them new for a little bit more than that, like 1,100, 1,200. And
Mhm.
again, everybody's situation's different, but if we're talking about buy once, cry once, which I'm going to be fully honest, that is kind of my theory. I would rather go without for a period of time and figure out another way to do it, and then just save for that ultimate tool that I want and just buy once, cry once. And
Well,
in my
a lot-
opinion, I think that's another option.
I think a lot of this is also determinant on that one question we always ask: what are you going to be doing?
Mhm.
What do you think? And
Yeah.
that changes throughout this hobby, right? We always
Yep.
the scope changes of it. So, but what are you thinking about doing? And do you need that? Do you actually need to go to that?
Right.
Of course, all of us are going to be like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm going." Go big or go home. But at the same time, when you're dealing with the budget, do you actually need that massive machine? That can be done down the road.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, this, but to stay on the topic, right? Buy once, cry once. So what would we do? What would be the suggestion? I think Matt put a good point on his bed length, especially if you're gonna be doing long boards to have
Yep.
that support. The bench tops. If you're doing cutting boards, fine. If that's what you're doing, but even then, those are finicky. You can't ever get them square. Uh, in my opinion, it's harder versus a floor standing model.
Yep.
Or the CNC. I'm just saying
Yep.
that replaces a lot of
It does. You can flatten, you can edge.
Yeah, you can join it.
Yep.
You can plane it with the CNC. And so if you're doing less than in my case 4 foot by 4 foot, I'm gonna do it on the CNC anyways. I can hit that program, boom, walk away, and it's flat.
100%. Yep. And even if you're going to go larger than that, if you're talking about a joiner, most joiners over 6 feet of a board, it's difficult, right? Because now you start getting a board that's going to be overhanging your infeed and your outfeed, right? And it's going to be a lot more difficult. That's where my personal opinion is you start getting into track saws or some other way to create that edge. If you're talking 8-10 foot boards, I mean, now I'm totally in a track saw territory.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
there's definitely tips and tricks that you can do with track saws and guides and different things that you can do to achieve a lot of the same techniques.
Yes.
So do you think they're doing away with the table saw? Do you think that they're phasing out the amount of people that are buying table or that need to buy table saws? Or how am I saying that right? Do you think they're becoming more popular than the table saw?
Talking about track saws?
Yeah.
I think track saws are becoming more popular because it's easier for people that don't do things at a repetitive cut all the time. And that's
I
what
would
a
agree
track.
with that.
That's exactly what a table saw is. It's for breaking your track saws. To me, are for longer cuts or for people that don't have the space and people that don't make repetitive cuts. Table saws are for, majorly repetitive cuts. You're going to make the same cut over and over and again. Redundant, but there you go.
I'll
Or-
second that a little bit for the repetitiveness,
Mhm.
but I also think that a table saw is a pretty large piece of equipment. And if you're into sheet goods and you're making cabinets and that sort of thing, I mean, you need a fair amount of space. If you got a 4x8 sheet of ply, you need 8 feet of infeed and 8 feet of outfeed, and then
Mhm.
the space for your table saw.
Correct.
That's a fair amount of space. Whereas if you've got 8 feet, you can just basically use your track saw.
Exactly.
And it's a lot easier and safer, quite honestly, in my opinion, than trying to balance a 4x8 sheet of ply on the spinning blade of death, which is a table saw, and worrying about kickbacks or binds or, messing up that expensive sheet of ply that you spent all that money on for the pre-finish, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, I mean, are they replacing the table saw? I mean, for a long time, I didn't have a table saw and I just used the track saw. And it worked great, except for the smaller items. So in my case, things under 4 feet is where I think the table saw shines, and those repetitive cuts. And it's a lot easier to batch out stuff with a table saw with small pieces.
I would agree
And
with
I
that statement.
I think that's where a lot of people who are hobbyists are in the smalls, right? They're going to be making the cutting boards. They're going to be making the picture frames, all that sort of boxes, all those sort of things. So, just my opinion.
Yeah. I break down everything on my table saw. I don't like bending over. I don't like lining up that track saw over and over again. But I also have an infeed and an outfeed big enough to support that. If I didn't have that, probably most definitely I'd be using a track saw. Track saw horses and going that route.
Well, I mean, if you have it set up properly, like where, like maybe what are those deals called that clamp onto the track, Steve? Those where you can get that repetitive same cut. What are those?
Parallel guides?
There you go. Couldn't think of that, but parallel
Yep.
guides, and have a proper area to do that. But for me, I think that's just more work in setting up versus setting the fence and ripping the plywood.
That's the
I really much
repetitiveness. Yeah.
and the repetitiveness. You have that fence
Mm-hmm.
to reference, and yeah, it's a little bit of hassle, but if you have your stuff set up, you can rip through and break down plywood so quicker than using a track saw, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah.
Again, if
I'm
you have
just-
the space.
If you
So is a track saw an upgrade, or is the table saw the upgrade?
I think the table saw would be the upgrade.
I agree.
I think that's where you need to focus your funds in getting a good table saw, because like Steve said, when you're doing smaller objects, that's where it really shines, when you
Mhm.
can reference that fence again and set it up, and you can do repetitive cuts. If you're doing face frames, if you're doing door frames, you can get that stuff down before you do the other parts to it, and it's going to be pretty damn accurate. I mean, it
Mhm.
should be the
Jigs.
same unless you're
I mean,
moving.
think about all the jigs. Think about all the jigs and sleds and stuff that you can make for your table saw. Also,
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, that
Right.
functionality to be able to do some of those small things like Steve mentioned is definitely a win. Win there
Which-
where you can't do that with a track saw. I mean, you can make jigs with a track saw, but I mean, compared
Well,
You can do small stuff on a track saw as well, especially with parallel guides and everything.
and that just requires spending more money, because then you can bring in like a MFT style table, and you can get accessories and set it all up, you know.
So
It
that would be
doesn't
upgraded.
necessarily mean more money, but I mean, you can always make jigs with scrap ply and MDF and everything. You don't, I mean, again, I am much more of a buy once, cry once. So I'm more apt to, spend money on the shiny object from insert tool company's name here. But you don't have to. I mean, there are plenty of people who use all sorts of track saws and they don't have a track. They use, ply or MDF, and that's what their rail is. And they
Mhm.
butt it up. I mean, they've been doing that for decades before really the track saws that we know today have been being used. So
Come on, Steve, just tell them. It's
Buy
just
once, cry
money.
once.
You go,
That's right.
Just go make
Crunch
more
all you want.
tomorrow.
We'll make
That's
more.
That's
They'll
what
make
you tell
more.
us. That's what you tell us. Tell them.
Link in the bio. Link in the
There you
bio.
go. There you go. That's the Steve I know. Okay, so let's jump on the joiner. I
Okay.
mean the planer,
Planer.
because that to me, you need you need joiner, you need planer, because those two work hand in hand. If you don't have a CNC, let's just take CNC out of the picture,
Okay.
because I know you were fixing to pounce on me with CNC, but let's just say that's not even in the equation.
Okay.
Where do we what do we go with, a 15-inch? Do we stay with the DeWalt? Do we go, of course, buy once, cry once, or do you just go for the gusto and do 20-inch?
I've been running the DeWalt for as long as I've been doing woodworking.
That's what, 12?
12 and a half.
13?
They say it's 13, but it's 12 and a half. But I've been running that same thing forever. I've seen bigger. What does that make me do? It makes me so I don't have as many glue ups. That to me, that's what it does. So if I'm going wider than 13 inches or 12 and a half inches, then I'm going to do this section, and then I'm going to do this section, and then I'm going to glue those two together, and I'll have planing in the middle or sanding in the middle between them. Can you go buy once, cry once? Here's my question on that. So you have a 15-inch planer now. So the difference in the cost between a lunchbox planer, which is the DeWalt, right, compared to a 15-inch planer, is about $1,000, right? Roughly.
Yep.
Going to a 20-inch planer is like $2,500 difference in price.
I would say go a little higher than that.
I'm being nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yep.
is it worth the buy once, cry once to go to a 20-inch planer and spend 3 to 4 times what I paid for that lunchbox planer because I don't want to do an extra 2-3 glue ups? Because think about it, 24 inches, if I do 2 of those, it's not equal to the 20 inches. So if I do 12 inches and I do another 12 inches, that's 24 inches. Now I got to go to a 25-inch planer. And I know you're paying for a 25-inch planer.
About 10 grand.
Yeah. Again, I think it comes
If
back
you're
to
lucky, if you're lucky,
what are you actually doing?
More closer to 15,000, somewhere in there.
Right.
But again, like Steve just said, what are you doing?
Correct.
What are you doing? Because if you're going to be working with big lumber, like big hardwood, 8/4, I mean, you start reaching the limitations of that DeWalt pretty quick, because it's strong, but it's not that strong because you still got to pull that material through at the same time, cut it. So you reach the limitations of that machine pretty dang quick, and like Mustache has seen before, circuit breaker on it. you know, and how much are you using it? Because it'll get hot. It's got its limitations, right? It was never. It's a good. I'm not knocking it because I have one and I've used it.
Right.
It's a dang good little planer. Nothing
Yes.
wrong with it. A lot of people use it.
Yep.
That's what they started with, you know, and they still use it. But if you start getting into bigger stuff, hence what Victor wanted to know, Mr. Prusa, is if you're going to upgrade, what do you go for? What
The squeeze has got to be worth the juice. At the end of the day, because I just stated, just to do one glue up is 12 inches, 12 and a half inches. To do two is 25. Just counting fingers and toes. Okay. I have to go to a 25-inch planer to be able to go to that size, right? To be able to do more than one glue up or do less than one glue up. There you go.
Well, I mean, by the time you're doing that glue up, those boards should not be needing
Should not.
anything after that.
No, by that time you can go through the sander and you should be pretty much done. You'll scrape off the glue, go through a sander. That's what should be happening.
So it shouldn't need to go through, but unless you mess up on your glue up, unless you move and there's some some differences there.
Right.
But
well,
I mean,
hopefully
when
you've got some alignment.
Yeah, hopefully your alignment's right, and hopefully everything is dimensioned the same. And if you've taken your time and done it, when you glue it up, like you're saying, is scraping the glue out, and then you're going to go to your final finishings on it, sanding, right? So you shouldn't need that planer anymore.
Shouldn't. Yeah.
Shouldn't.
Yeah. And if not, I got Steve to come over and hand plane it, and we can be done real quick. Like,
well, you know, you can always pull the hand plane out and do it, but if you're at that point when you're supposed to be going toward finishing, in my opinion, and you're having to run it back through the planer again, you're
doing something wrong.
You're doing wrong. You need to practice on the other stuff because you shouldn't need to be going through that.
Okay, so let's say we're going to do one glue up, right? We're putting everything together, gluing it up, or we're planing everything out. That's something 25-inch compared to cutting it down and then gluing it up. How often do you put together something 25 inches wide and not expect it to cup, bow, whatever?
Well, what are you putting together? What are we talking about here?
We're just talking about a slab. We're just talking about a slab.
I mean, by that time, it shouldn't. By that time, if you're working with dry lumber and you do everything together, right?
Yeah.
And even in your glue up, all depends on how much you squeeze. We could go down this road.
And just realize I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm playing devil's advocate of why do I need to spend $10,000, $15,000 for a planer compared to $1,000?
You really don't. That's how unless you're in business and you're in a full production shop, and that is 100% making you money, and that 30 minutes to cut and glue and make everything look pretty in the end, that 30 minutes is worth the extra 10 grand to have that wider planer and just run it through, because you're going to make that back if you're a production shop and you're making this stuff for profit and you're not a hobbyist like most of us.
So I know that, Joe, you sat in these conversations in my head. We've talked through this stuff, and these are the thoughts that go through my head. Why am I going to pay that price to do this when it takes me this? Why this price it's not justified? These are the conversations I have in my head. So this topic was itching in my head already. So,
and then you get me, and I'm Steve Jr. over there, and I'm like,
yeah, you just go out and buy it, and I would
buy it.
You far surpass me, Joey. You far surpass me.
Yeah, you're senior. It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'll throw out the a couple of the wedding signs that I did. I had I want to say like 12-quarter walnut, and I resawed that to do the lid for one of the wedding signs. And like that ended up being 24, 25 inches diameter round for a sign, but I was limited with after the resaw because I didn't have the bandsaw dialed in completely good. So I had to run those pieces through the planer, and those had to be like, like Matt said, 12 inches, 12 and a half inches so that they can go through the planer, and I was just like, it is what it is. And, thankfully the glue up was fine. The one sign found its way to glue itself to the table, but that's another topic. But like that, you're limited with that. But I mean, to Matt's point also, am I going to go buy a 25-inch planer? No, I couldn't even fit that in. And I mean, I don't even know what power requirements are for a planer that size.
we get you
The
set up,
15
bud.
inch, the 50. Yeah, I know you could, but the 15 inch that I have from Scott is that's 220. And like
Mhm.
the joiner is 220. I mean, I said this a couple nights ago. I've gone from just the bandsaw being 220 to now 4 tools in my shop being 220. And
You're growing
like,
up.
who's
Yeah.
a big boy?
Like a big boy.
I'm a big boy.
Pretty soon you'll be shooting arrows.
Davey
at the
brings
trees.
up a good point with the power. The bigger machines
Mhm.
have usually more power, and they are usually quieter running on 220.
That's true.
I think anything over like a 20-inch planer, now you're starting to get in the territory of you're probably going to start to need phase converters or 3-phase if you're getting into the 30, 32, 36-inch, all that stuff.
You could still get you a 24-inch in single phase. But they require some pull.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be paying some bank. I think Grizzlies, I mean, it's just crazy money. At that point,
Oh yeah.
that's
100%.
just like, if you're not in a business, then
Right.
you're just
Absolutely.
buying it because you just want it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Right.
And at that point, what does it matter? Really?
At that point, I'm looking at the difference in the cost of buying that compared to a, say, like an Avid 5x10 table or something like that.
Right.
A 5x16 table. That's in my opinion, that's what I would be looking at to go. Do I need that planer at $15,000-$20,000, or do I need to go buy me a CNC for $16,000 to $20,000? Well, I'm just saying, I can do more with the CNC than I can the planer.
I mean, you do have a damn good point. You have a good point. You can edge. I mean, you can join, plane.
Mm-hmm.
You can do everything. You can
Yes.
cut.
Yep.
It just
And
takes a little
once
more
you
time. Just
join
take
it
a little
and
more
glue
time.
it up, you can flatten
Mhm.
it again on that CNC. And
And if you're doing
yeah.
cabinets, you cut all your parts. There's a lot of all the cabinet makers, I mean, you can do it. You got a dang good point.
Yeah.
You can eliminate a lot of machines.
Yes.
You can eliminate.
Yep.
You can pretty much do everything.
Yeah.
And be done. If you have stuff, maybe a bandsaw to do small stuff, but even then,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really and truly, then why do you even need anything? Why do you need a table saw? Why do you need a joiner? Why do you need a planer?
Well, again, it goes right back to what are you doing, right?
Right.
For 3 years, I didn't have a table saw. I didn't need it. I wasn't doing that sort of stuff where I needed it. And it finally got to the point where I was doing enough small stuff where I'm like, you know what? It's easier now for me to get a table saw. And I actually got the Festool CSC 50 sustainer saw that, it's very small and it's battery powered. And I used that for about a year and a half until I kind of outgrew that. I mean,
Okay.
it's an amazing saw and it's great saw. I still love it and I still use it, but I
so
wanted
let's-
something a little bit bigger. So I got the saw stop.
Let's just do the math. Okay.
Yep.
8-inch helical head joiner, 2,500.
Yeah.
Okay. Saw stop, if that's what you're going to get. Heck, even Harvey, doesn't matter what you get. You're going to be about $3,000,
Mhm.
right?
Easy.
So we're already at 5,500.
Yep.
Okay.
So you just bought a Onefinity.
Okay. Well, but let's just
with
I know.
vacuum
look at
table.
it. So
With the
let's look at a planer.
Uh-huh.
A planer, if you're going to go 15-inch planer helical head, you're probably looking close to 3,000, 2,500. 2,500
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah. So you're 8,500 now.
So we're at 8,500.
Mhm.
What else we can get? What can we get rid of? That's table saw, joiner, planer.
Track saw.
If you kick that out, track saw setup, 500.
No, more than that.
Well, depending.
Talking,
Makita.
talking easy 1,000.
So let's say 1,000. So now we're at 9,500.
Mm-hmm.
Miscellaneous, say 10 grand.
You're in avid territory.
Yeah, you're
You're
4x8. You're 4x8 avid territory.
Yeah.
Full sheets.
15,000
One
can
tool.
get you one. I'm pretty sure you get pretty dang close to it.
Mm-hmm.
An extra $5,000 and you cut out all those dang machines and you're left with one with a lot of workspace to build.
Yes.
And a lot less power requirements.
One
Mhm.
220 and one 110.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because I just ran all the power. My boxes, I've got
you
one
still need a vacuum, but that's dust collection. But that's
a dust collector. So
Mhm.
you know,
So
you're
another
going to need
$3,000.
that regardless,
Yep.
right?
One way or another. Yeah, you had to get that.
But on
a
an
lot less
avid,
ductwork. But a lot less ductwork.
well, yeah, you're going to
Right.
go to one machine and then maybe a floor suite.
That's right.
You know, you can justify, not trying to do it. That little Rockler dust
Yeah.
collector, $1,700. Put it in, and to me, it's going to work fine. I need to pull some runs on it and test it, but it works pretty dang good. But again, now you've killed all those machines, a lot less power requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are going to say we're crazy and stupid that you
They're
They're
can't
going to
do
say
away
that
with it.
anyways.
It's not
But-
woodworking.
But if you really think about it, you could go throw a full sheet of plywood on it,
Mm-hmm.
set your program up, cut all your parts out. You could do that with lumber. You can flatten it. It's going to take more time, yes.
You could
More
take
time.
a full slab and cut it
Right.
out, cut everything you need out to build a table, to build whatever it is you want to build. Yes, you can do that.
Boy, this went in a different direction than I think that Mr. Prusa wanted it to go. But I mean, really and truly, though you could get rid of all those machines, but time, if you have the time, it's going to take longer with the CNC versus setting
Yes.
a table saw up and ripping away and getting your stuff out quick.
Mhm.
It's going to take time.
Yeah.
But where a CNC, you could cut everything. You're
Mhm.
cutting all the whole part out.
Yes.
And when it's done, it's ready to
Mhm.
assemble. Versus a saw, you got to cut one part, then you got to flip it around and do the other.
And hope you didn't make a mistake.
Any input? Anybody?
No, I mean, I agree, but again, it goes back to what are you doing? If you're going to be a cabinet shop, you're going to spend a heck of a lot more on a shop bot or some form of a much more rugged and quicker CNC to batch out all those cabinets. But again, you're doing really one job. You're cutting sheet goods all day, every day. And, what's that? 3/4 of an inch for 98% of what you're doing. Maybe you do a countertop on it or something that's real wood.
But is it
It-
worth it? Like when you get it, let's just say face frames and door frames, stuff of that nature for the cabinet. Is it easier to have all those other pieces of equipment or doing it on a CNC? Speed wise.
Well, I
cut
think you're
everything
going to be
else-
able to do. Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Matt.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're a cabinet shop, you're going to have those other tools anyways, because you can't just have one machine do everything.
We're not
And-
talking about a
well,
cabinet shop. Let's
We're
keep
talking
it
about
to a hobby.
individuals. Yeah. Individual
Individual.
hobby shops.
Yeah, I mean, all right. If you're just talking hobbies, then if you have the space and that's the way you want to go about it, yes, it could replace almost all of the other large major tools that we've discussed: joiners, planers, table saws. Um, but is that what you want to do? Right? It all depends on how you want to work. Right? I mean, there's a ton of people who use all these large machines that have no interest in using a hand plane or a card scraper or hand cut dovetails. Right?
Mhm.
So it all goes back to what do you want to do, and that's where your enjoyment comes out of it if you're a hobbyist, right? If you're making things to sell on Etsy or some other place at local craft show or anything, you're now getting into production shops. Now you're right back to what Don had said. What's the point if it's not saving you money, for these upgrades, right? So now it becomes, I can't just wait on one CNC for 3 weeks to cut out all my things. I need to batch process stuff, and it's going to be a lot quicker, I think, with the more standard tools of joiners, planers, and table saws for that sort of stuff. If you're trying to get more of a production shop, again, unless you're spending 30 to 60,000 for a really great, production quality CNC.
So I think if I remember with the conversation I had with Victor, he's looking at a table saw. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I think he wants to upgrade it. And I
Mhm.
think this maybe, I could be wrong, this where this topic came from. Why he
Okay.
wanted to. What would you do? Buy ones, cry ones. I don't exactly know what he has right now. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he's told me before, but I know he's been looking at a saw stop.
He was looking at the saw stop with the cabinet on the side of it.
Yes. Versus, I think, the Harvey.
Correct.
Okay, so let's talk those two, because I think those two table saws are really nice saws. Okay. I like a lot of the features that the Harvey has, just for the simplicity of maintenance wise, with the coated top or the nickel top versus regular cast iron, right? Now, where the saw stop comes in, with the safety, there's going to be a lot of people. Oh, you know, you don't need to worry about that safety. You pay attention. You shouldn't have no problems. Okay. So and Harvey has a lot of nice features with that big eye fence. Super
You
awesome.
do.
It's nice. I mean, that's
It
a
is.
nice fence system on that saw. But again, you have the safety feature, and I think that's where Victor is kind of leaning toward. I don't know. I've only talked to him once about it. So what are y'all's? I think that's what he's looking at. Buy ones, cry ones. Which way? What do you go to, or do you stay conservative?
I mean, I've had this discussion with Victor a couple times, and I mean, I have a Harvey bandsaw. I absolutely love it. Like you said, they have their table saws they look really really nice. I've heard really good things about people that have them. Um, the safety for me overrides the brand loyalty, I guess I could say. They're
Or
both
the
solid
features?
companies.
Or the features,
Yeah,
you mean?
yep, or the features also. I mean, the having the I mean, just putting, I was at a point where if my wife wasn't home, I was not using certain tools. Just for the fact that, like, I'm trying to be safe through. I mean, there's been multiple occasions where I'm like going to do a cut and I'm like, this is a little sketchy. And I figure out a different way and stuff. But you know, having that, and I think it would put my wife's mild anxiety at bay also, knowing that her husband is a little safer in the shop with what he's doing. Because I mean, fatigue. We've all been there. We've all been there. We've had a long day. Maybe you've been in the shop all day, and you're just trying to bang this project out and get it done. And you make that little oops because you're a little tired, or maybe you that was the 70th time that you did that cut, and you're just in a groove, and oops, and you know, like, having that safety on the saw stop is a huge deal in my opinion. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. I don't know if you guys feel any different ways about it.
So, from my standpoint, both saws are amazing. And I think Harvey, over the last 3 or 4 years, has been the most innovative company I've seen in the woodworking space. They've come out with a lot of really great upgrades to their saws, and you know, some of the new stuff that they're coming out with is pretty awesome. But for me, I'm going with a saw stop for the safety feature. And I say that because I grew up with an uncle who lost 4 fingers to a radial arm saw. Granted, not the same saw, but it's still a spinning blade of death. And we've all seen plenty of unfortunate, you know, stories we've heard of people getting cut on table saws. So, like Matt had said, it's about safety for me. And I understand that nothing is foolproof. And I understand that sometimes those cartridges automatically go off and you lose a blade in a cartridge and you get frustrated because now that costs money, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than a night in the ER and medical bills, in my opinion. So I'm going saw stop.
Go ahead, because I pretty much know your answer. But go ahead.
So I don't like either one.
No.
Okay. I'm just going to be quite honest. I don't like bending over to do crap. And they're both at 32 inches. I'm 6'2", 6'3". I'm not going to bend over to work on a table saw, because that, as we all watched the video of the doofus that, you know, ran the piece of plywood through the table saw and it came back in front of him and cut his, you know, his pants down the front. First of all, unstable. I built my table saw at 42 inches so that it's taller. So I don't have that. This is all I got to look out for when I'm doing table saw. I have a built-in feature front and back, so my plywood is always stable. I'm not having to balance and hold it up, and because I learned real quick, like, I'm getting older and I'm not gonna, you put a 3/4 inch piece of MDF on a table saw, I don't care if you don't have something surrounding the whole entire thing, it's not going to be balanced. So I made sure that I felt safe in my shop to do it. Now, the other thing, the only thing that I haven't heard any of y'all say is, can you buy a saw stop and put a different fence on it? Can you buy a saw stop and put different implements onto it? So you have your safety feature, right?
Yes.
But now I go and put the Harvey system on it for my fence. Now I have the best of both worlds. Just like when Anchor came out with theirs, just like,
well, that's what you would put on it, is the Incra. But let me throw you a curveball.
okay,
Let's say Matt didn't have his big built-in island table saw.
okay.
With the decision to make, which one would you go with? Harvey or saw stop? That's all you have. Which one? I'm gonna put you on the spot because I know you're always going to revert back to your saw. You love it. I know you do. right? But which one would you go with if you're Victor
Okay.
and you're gonna buy a table saw? Which saw would you go with?
I personally, so I haven't researched them, which I like to research.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy the biggest table base that I can get. Doesn't matter about the safety feature of the blade dropping. It doesn't matter about the top coating. I don't care. The problem with safety comes back to with pinching and binding is you not being able to control the piece of lumber. That's where that's the safety aspect
Well,
comes
I mean,
into.
yes and no. I'm gonna kick back on you because that's
Okay.
what I want to.
Awesome.
Because there is stress relief on wood, and it will pinch. That you know that.
Correct. And
Right?
so you have a riving knife on the back of it that takes care of that, right? Okay.
Not always.
I keep a small. Mine's very small because mine doesn't go up and down. They didn't have that back in the day for Unisaw.
Yeah.
Okay. But because I can control my piece, I can see all that stuff. I can see everything, and it's super easy to control. And so I go back to the bed has to be big enough to control. If you're cutting down a 4x8 sheet of plywood, okay. First of all, make your cuts so that you don't make small cuts on one side and huge cuts on the other side, and that you're not making it longer than the piece is wide, because that's where you can't control and you're going to bind. Okay. But I make it so the bed is controlled. So I ain't got to pick up anything, nothing. I'm worried about going forward, and I'm going in an even cut, keeping it to the fence, pushing towards the fence the whole time I'm cutting. So I couldn't pick for you, and because I haven't done the research. Okay, I have not done the research.
Safety factor versus I'm gonna press you.
Okay.
Safety factor, saw stop, or Harvey.
So, and I'm not sure. Does Harvey come with the glide feature?
They got that big eye.
Well, are you talking about like a sliding fence, like
Yes.
a slider?
Yeah, the
No,
slider.
it's an add-on for both saws.
Okay, I like the slider, but I like that there's a bigger one that what's his name? It's got friggin' every Festool there is.
Jason?
No. He's got the big slider. He just built out his shop and built all of his stuff, and
Thinking Dusty
yes.
Lumber.
Dusty Limico, yeah, him.
Yeah.
That big slider that he has, it can hold a full sheet.
Oh yeah, well that's
Yeah,
felder.
well, that's a whole different category.
I understand, but you asked if I had a slider like that could hold the full sheet. Yeah, that's what I would like, but I don't know enough about the two brands to be able to make a choice. I would have to do research. To be fair.
I mean, I believe they both have 52-inch rip capacity, Harvey and saw stop.
They're essentially the same saw.
Yeah, it's just you're getting safety feature.
So if they're the same exact, and the one has safety and one doesn't, I'd go with the safety one.
Harvey's got that nice fence. I'm gonna tell you what, that to me is a real nice. But
I can take the fence off and put the other fence on it. I can do that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What? Which? Where? Do which? What? What are you talking about?
Put
So you can
Harvey
take
fence on the saw stop.
Yeah, you can get rid of the saw. Yes,
of course you can.
I can do it. I can put it on my.
I mean,
saw if I wanted to.
I don't know if it would match up hole for hole. You'd probably have to do a little bit of drilling. I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know. But I mean, that's cast iron. As long as you hold it true, you do whatever you want to do.
We got
okay. Well, I just.
But yeah, I mean that in my opinion now isn't the. I think it's the table saw that you were talking about getting. I don't know if you got it or not, but
me,
yeah. Don't it have a safety feature? Because I know Dusty Lumberco, he's got his right now.
Well, yeah, but he got a Format 4.
Was it a Format 4 or was it an SCM?
No, he's got a Felder now.
H2.
Felder's in him a saw.
Okay. Yeah. Well, now we're talking about a $30,000 saw.
Correct. But what I'm saying is the saw stop ruins the blade, ruins the cartridge. Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
And this doesn't.
Ooh,
that's correct.
Yeah.
Well, that's correct because
baby.
Format 4 and Felder are the only ones that I'm aware of that have that optical feature. It's an optical feature where the blade actually just drops down below, and it doesn't ruin a blade, and it doesn't cause a cartridge to fire. It resets, and then you can reset it, and the blade goes back up, and you just continue on. It's like a big giant brake.
Mm-hmm.
It's a clutch almost,
Yeah.
and it drops below the surface as well, and it's all done through cameras and
only on
optical.
40, 50,000.
SCM may have something like that as well, but I think Format
So
4 is really.
if I had my option of not having to ruin a $150, $250 blade and a cartridge, I would rather do that. But
of course, everybody would.
correct. So, and of course, I would rather not stick my finger in the blade, which I have
Nobody
done.
would.
I have done. I'm not gonna lie. 15 years old, stuck it in there.
How'd that work out for you?
Stuck it right back in my mouth.
Mm.
Yeah. And there was electrical tape, and yeah, it was a whole thing. But it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
Should have known better to
Sure
begin
it
with,
was.
but
Yeah.
I was just mesmerized by the blade.
They need to
Yeah.
do something for a bandsaw because I get pretty crazy with that. That's one that's eating my lunch.
Now everyone says the table saw, in mine being raised up, I'm be quite as honest with you. It's so much easier to control that I don't have that same issue. The bandsaw, to me, until I put my guides on there and I got it more tuned in, was, to me, that was the scariest piece of equipment in the shop, was the bandsaw, not the table saw. So they say table saw is more injuries, bandsaw second. To me, a bandsaw will pull you in.
I don't. The bandsaw does not bother me one bit. I respect the table saw. That's the only one that I respect because I've had kickback many a times.
Table saw, routers, and shapers.
Yeah, router. Yeah, I mean
Shapers. Yeah.
Shapers.
Yeah.
Shapers are the things in the shop that scare the heck out of me.
that's why you just put a power feed on it and walk away. You just let that
100%.
Just-
Yeah, you want me
Put
to
it
use a
in there and
shaper?
let
It's got to
that
have a
thing-
power feeder on it.
Yeah,
I always
and
always
let
love
it go
those
without-
videos of that guy that's really going through the shaper really fast, and then you notice his
Yeah.
hands where there's like 3 fingers missing.
Oh yeah. Of course, he has no guards or anything on it. It's just
Nothing.
full blade.
Nah.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, blade of death just rotating, waiting to come loose and whack him in half or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's where Victor wanted to know what route will we go. And I mean, I have a saw stop and I bought it for the safety. Again, like Steve has said, I'd rather replace a $100 cartridge,
And
$100, $200 blade than have to go to the ER and potentially lose a finger.
And if it puts it at your, ease of mind, get it. I'm not gonna, tell anybody that they're doing the wrong thing by buying one, ever. If that puts your ease at mind at ease. There you go. I'm gonna say it forward or backwards. One of these times it's gonna be right. But if it puts your mind at ease, get it. By all means, get it. And I liked the picture that he sent that had the cabinet next to it. It looked like it supported the wing off to the side, and it gave you storage for all your stuff that you need for your table saw. I thought that was pretty smart. And then it looked like it also had the router base in the side of it as well.
Oh yeah, the sky's the limit with that.
Yeah.
You can add all those attachments onto there. Yeah.
I'm willing to spend his money. I can spend all of his money. I promise you.
Yeah. So can we. So can we.
Link in the
I think
bio.
when I called him, I was like, just get it. I mean, if
Go ahead and give me your dimensions of your shop. I'll help you.
The only thing now that I would say is that a contractor saw, even though saw stops all cast iron, is the stability versus a cabinet saw. Because if you are doing sheet goods, you can see what happened to that guy where that saw is not stable.
Correct.
And the blade grabbed onto the wood and shot right back at him and did whatever it did, right? Versus a cabinet, a full-blown cabinet saw.
Cabinet saw is not going to move.
Plenty weight.
Wait,
not going to move on you.
Is this the video where he's standing on the back side of the saw pulling the work?
Yes, the outfeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a moron to begin with.
Yeah, that was.
It was an unsafe thing he was doing.
He'd
Yeah,
had better
yeah,
luck,
so it's
just like
totally-
when the contractors turn it upside down and just run it across the whole bundle. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Riding them all at one
Wicked.
time.
cut them all at once.
Been doing this 20 years. Only missed 4 fingers.
Oh, if I could count how many times I've been doing this for 30 years.
I always had an answer for that. I said, I don't care how long you've been doing it wrong. I'm just telling you you're doing it wrong.
Oh gosh.
Well, have we
I don't
solved
think
this
we answered any
problem, or
question. I think we just made more controversy, or I don't know. We just opened other avenues of talk because I think we went every which way but the right way, as usual.
Which way did who go?
where's Dave, man?
Dave's not here.
I mean, hell, I don't know. Look at me. I ended up with a metal lathe. And the young kid, he was over there wanting, like, we're going to turn that thing on today. I said, no, we're not. You crazy? He's
To
like,
get it set up.
just plug it in and turn it on. And like, no, dude, there ain't no oil in it. We can't even get the dang thing connected to the base. What's wrong with you? And that's insane. But yeah, I just want to get it mounted and out of the way because I got some other things that I got to do. So
Sounds like you got some more floor mats put down.
Yeah.
yeah, get all the machines moving in the right position because we got to. I did tell y'all that we're gonna be working a deal with IVAC, so fully automate the shop with IVAC
Nice.
system.
Nice.
So can't wait to get all that put in. So
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
yeah, I can't wait. Anything else, or should we put a bow on this? Victor, I hope we
we
answered your
can.
question some way.
I hope we did too.
I don't know if we did.
Yeah. Buy once, cry once. Links in the bio.
Just go buy it. Just like Steve's motto. It's just money. You can always go buy more.
Yeah, it's just money. Just money. Let me thank our patrons real quick before we sign off.
Okay.
I will shout out our top tier as usual. And I'll start off with Don from What's Next Woodworking. Victor, our episode sponsor, I guess, from Whim Design. Tyler from Forge 3D. Steve, who's still a patron from Steve I Design. And last but not least, our good friend Mike from Lido's Woodshop. That top tier list, along with all our other top tier, all our other tiers, we would like to give a big old hug and thank them. And if you would like to join them, you can head on over to supportcmp.com and tell them I sent you. No coupon code. Sorry, Steve.
Link in the bio.
Link in the bio.
Hey,
And,
y'all remember,
special-
please.
Special.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say special thanks to our my shop sponsor where I am right now in Iowa at Scott's.
There you go.
Scott.
I've been waiting for his dog just to come
Little
jump
Creek
on you
Lumber.
during the show. Just
She did once. It was very brief. She was like right halfway up the screen.
Nice.
It's like, hey, can you open this door? Can you do what my human does? Let me out of here.
But anyhow, thank y'all, everybody who hung out with us tonight in the chat. Please remember to give us a thumbs up on this video. You can do that actually right now. And also, if you don't mind, when the show ends, just exit out, come back into it, and leave us a comment. We really appreciate it. And if
I'd like to
Yeah.
hear what their tool they would like to upgrade, or
Yeah.
their thoughts on it. That's what I'd like
Yeah.
to hear,
yeah,
that'd be
because I
cool.
actually go back and read those
Absolutely.
comments and answer. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And you can always, if you're a Patreon member, go into the Discord. And if y'all ever have anything y'all want us to talk about, all you got to do is just do what Victor did. Send it to us.
Is it?
Yep.
We'll go off the rails on something else. You know,
Yeah.
we're so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to get the show notes down. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Steve is getting us to where we're almost professional. It's never gonna happen, but
Steve sends those out, and I'm like, "We have show notes."
He's asking. He's asking a lot of
where
us.
they at again?
Where can I find those? Same place they were last week.
Exactly.
Be in that Google Drive that we have. Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have
Yeah,
one of those.
I never got them open for this show, by the way. So
Good job. Way to
Well,
go.
we've
nailed
finally
it.
gotten away from
Nailed it.
somebody going and changing stuff up because I just tend to just read and not pay attention to actually what's there. So sometimes there was some stuff read that I shouldn't have read. You know.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, but anyhow, remember, please to
Please
check
do.
us out on Spotify, iTunes, all those audio listening platforms, and download. We had a pretty good month this month, and just hopefully we have a better month next month, and keep on building. And that's about it. I'm going to shut up because I need to go. So, any closing thoughts? Anything? Bye.
walnut log videos coming for me.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, bye, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see y'all next Sunday. Bye now.
Good week.
Bye-bye.
Adios.